Hey guys, it's time for another edition of Singles Only Podcast. My name is Paul Farahvar, your host. On this edition, we have No Voice of Reason, and our guest is musician Zaina Badawy. She is awesome. This one's on Zoom. We did it on Zoom. It's on YouTube if you want to watch the video, or if you're listening wherever you're listening right now, please subscribe to us either way. Subscribe to my YouTube page too. It's a fun episode. I really enjoyed talking to her. It's something cool because I've always talked about how musicians should date comedians and vice versa. And this is something we talked about a little bit. Fun episode. If you haven't already, subscribe and give us a 5-star review. I really appreciate everything you guys have been doing. If you got questions, or want us to talk about something or have guest ideas, always email me, pfarahvar@gmail.com, or DM me on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you're seeing the ads for this. It's been it's crazy. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's all I can say at this point, silver lining wise. I am going to be back on doing shows soon. paulfcomedy.com to see if I'm in your town. I have stuff scheduled again in Arizona, Oklahoma City, and Arkansas, as well as I think Chicago pretty soon as well. If you haven't already, check out our sponsors. I really appreciate all they've done so far and for sticking through with me during this time. And thank you all for listening as well and sharing and telling your friends about this podcast. It means a lot to me. And I can't believe we've got over 200 episodes. So enjoy. For those of you new to the podcast, you need to know that I'm a huge reader. I love biographies and nonfiction, something I do. And one of my favorite books of recent time is Perfect Pain by Paul Farahvar. It's a friend of mine who wrote it. It's just a perfect story of how everything appears to be perfect, but in reality, there was a lot of demons in someone's life. And this book talks about how through therapy, Paul Farahvar overcame all his fears, his pain, his problems through therapy, and came up on top on the other side. It's a great book. It's a great journey. I highly recommend it. You can get it at Amazon. Actually, he reduced the price recently. So if you are on Amazon.com, go buy it. But here's what I'm going to do for our listeners or watchers. If you're on YouTube, if you review the podcast Singles Only on iTunes or wherever you listen, send it to me at pfarahvar@gmail.com. I will send you a free copy of the book, Perfect Pain. It's a $20 value. It's a memoir by Paul Farahvar. That's how confident I am that you'll love it. And if you do love it, tell people, review it. If you've read it already, review it, please. We want to get the word out on this great book. I don't know what else I can do. It's just such an amazing journey. It gives you hope. It's something we all need right now. Perfect Pain by Paul Farahvar. Please check it out, perfectpain.com, or message me for your free copy. You know I'm a lawyer. I talk about it often, but when I have legal questions or I have legal issues that I'm facing, I go to my friend, Scott Shapiro. So if you've been injured on the job, need compensation, you might be entitled to money that you don't even know about. And that holds true for workers' compensation, personal injury, all that stuff. My friend, Scott Shapiro, has been helping injured workers and doing entertainment law for almost 20 years now. You need to contact him, 312-648-8800, or email him at scott@scottshapirolegal.com. He is legitimately one of the best people and best lawyers I know. If you call him, you tell him Singles Only sent you or I sent you, it's a free consultation. Granted, it's a free consultation anyway, probably, but boom, just throw my name so I can stay in business here. He is a full-service law firm. In addition to workers' compensation cases, work injuries, he handles litigation. He handles all your legal needs for entertainment law. So those of you who are entertainers out there, have legal questions, he's your guy. Again, free consultation. Don't take a chance and not get a lawyer. 312-648-8800 or check out his website, scottshapirolegal.com. All right, it's time for another edition of Singles Only Podcast. My name is Paul Farahvar. There is no voice of reason on this episode, but I don't think we're going to need it. I think we're reasonable. We have a guest. You guys have heard me say that musicians are who I think comedians should date on maybe 100, if not all 200 episodes. And we finally have another musician on, single musician from Seattle and LA, all over the place, Middle Eastern as well. Zaina Badawy. Did I say that right? Zaina, are you there?
Yes, you did say it right. Hello.
Did I say accurately? You're in Seattle now?
Yep, I am in Seattle.
Okay.
Well, Tacoma.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, there's a great comedy club there. My friend was just there last weekend. He said it was awesome.
The Tacoma Comedy Club?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I was supposed to be there soon, but I don't know what that's going to happen. So, Zaina, I met you at Laugh Factory. You came to my show, Drink Day Laugh, and then we hung out with you and your crew of friends, and you hung out with another single friend of mine, and we ended up having a great night. We had do you remember we had a contest, a music contest?
Yeah, you acted like we were on American Idol.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm very competitive, if you haven't noticed. But anyway, that was fun. We had a great night. And you're single now. How is that possible? Tell us why you're single. What do you think? Why?
I don't know if I got out of a very long relationship back in 2018, and yeah, I think.
What's a long relationship for you, Zaina?
So we were seeing each other for about 5 years. We were official for about 2 of those 5 years.
Okay. And who was this person to you? What did he do? I mean, like, was he a musician or?
No, complete opposite. He actually is a real estate investor.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you guys meet?
We actually have been friends since we were 11. So we've known each other for a long time. We met at a youth group when we were younger.
Is this like a youth group for Middle Eastern folk?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So he's not Middle Eastern?
No. He's
okay.
European.
European. Okay. And you and I talked briefly via text. What's your ethnic background?
So my father's side is full Egyptian.
Okay.
And then my mom's side is European, so it's kind of like Irish, Greek, Romanian.
And do they care who you date or anything like that in terms of?
I would say my American family does not. So like my mom, my brother and sister, they don't really have an opinion. But my Arab side of the family, I think they're very much more involved, I guess, or would have more of an opinion.
Okay. Well, you're only half, so you get like a pass. I think you don't get as much pressure. It's usually the mothers who are eager to continue the ethnic centricity. So
yeah.
So you got lucky. So 5 years on and off with this guy you met when you were 11 years old. What happened? Why did it end?
Honestly, I think it just became kind of toxic, and it should have ended a lot earlier than it did. I feel this is something that I was thinking about the other day. I was like, okay, when you want something to work so bad, even though you know it's not working, but you just stay. So yeah, it ended. He did cheat, and I think that kind of caused a lot of turmoil. So
sure, it's usually a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you have a day job now, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you're a musician. That's your goal in life, I assume.
I think a lot of people I feel like get the idea that, you need to be kind of like this top of the chart Billboard selling your music and to be a musician. And I mean, I obviously am not top of the chart Billboard, but I feel like regardless, you're a musician, whatever
right.
level of success you have.
Yeah, I mean, success, I was in the music world for years, still am tangentially, but I have clients and friends who are very successful and you don't even know their names, but their songs, you'll be on the radio, like, I'm like, oh, Jeff wrote that. It's like, it's kind of like there's so many options for musicians in the creatives. But how does that translate for when you're dating though? Like, how can you date a real estate guy when you're such a creative person, allegedly?
I think it kind of helped, to be honest. I mean, he did play the guitar and stuff, so he had like a musical, not a musical background, but he was involved in music. But I think the fact that he had a different mindset, it kind of, I that's what it was intriguing to me, because it's complete opposite. Like, if you get into a room with another comedian, like, you guys just have so much in common, and I think that somebody that doesn't think the way you do kind of benefits the situation.
But you were better at him on guitar, I assume.
Actually, now probably. Now probably.
But now when you guys are dating?
No, he definitely was better.
Okay, so he's pretty good. Okay, fair enough. So have you dated other guys since then?
Oh, I've dipped my toes in the pond, I guess, a little bit. And
okay.
So yeah, I mean, I've talked to a few different guys, or have tried seeing what life is about after being in such a long relationship. But
and how are you meeting these folks?
So honestly, it's kind of random. Like, there was this one guy that I met that when I was waitressing, he was working there as well. And I tried
You can't shit where you work. That's always a bad idea. But
okay. I trust me, I know.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
You tried Bumble.
Yeah, so I tried Bumble, and honestly, it's just kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm really into the dating app thing. I don't know if I could do it. I don't like Tinder. I signed up for a Tinder once, and then I deactivated my account like 2 minutes later.
Yeah, Tinder is on and off. Sometimes it's kind of a hookup app. Sometimes it's not, depending on what city you're in. What about Hinge? Have you tried Hinge or League?
I have not, but I've seen the commercials.
Oh, you guys have Hinge commercials there?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So what is it that turned you off about the apps? What you said you deleted the Tinder and then you didn't really. What was the downside?
Well, Tinder, I never really actually gave a shot. I literally signed up and then 10 minutes later, at the most, deleted it, because I know it's kind of something that people use for a hookup app, and it just made me feel kind of like dirty. I don't know. Sure. Bumble, I had a lot of really good conversations with some really cool people. I don't know. I think it's so easy to be a different person online, and you never know if like the person you're talking to is like, if that's like really them or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they could be really cool texting, but then when they talk, they can't talk. It's like comedians who are good writers and who are good stand-up comedians are two different things. So
yeah, exactly.
I get it. So did you date anyone during the quarantine? Did you go out with any dudes?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you guys got hit pretty hard. So
yeah, Seattle's kind of has been, 2020 has not been the best.
Have you dated other musicians or people other than the real estate guy who played guitar?
I have. I think when I was in my teens, I talked to a couple guys that were in bands, but I never really was interested in getting to know another musician. I feel like romantically, at least.
Right. Can you hear that? Can you hear that tapping? Is that just me?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Cool. I think someone's having a party outside. But anyway, it's not someone at my door. There it is again. So wait. So if you can't do Bumble, how are you going to meet people? You think you're just going to meet people in real life?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like, kind of old school introduction sort of thing. I go out with my friends a lot and I travel a lot. So maybe if I were to meet somebody, it would be traveling, I guess.
So, but if you travel, you meet someone, let's say you meet this guy of your dreams in, I don't know, whatever, let's say Florida, Miami. How are you going to make that work when you're in Seattle?
That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like it would be something, I don't know. I think it would be cool to meet somebody out of state and kind of just explore like a long distance thing.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm a big fan of the long distance stuff. I think that that's a good way to go because then you can grow independently, and then you can miss them, and then you'll always have the honeymoon relationship when you guys hang out. You don't have to deal with the real world and when relationships get hard.
yeah, until you actually decide if this is a serious thing, and then you guys just meet up, and if you're like living in that state or he's living here, and then you realize you absolutely hate spending that much
Yeah.
time with them.
Well, that's what the quarantine, it sped up a lot of relationships because you're with someone for 24 hours. And that's like a 3-month quarantine is like a 5-year marriage for a lot of people because you're with that
Yeah.
person way more than you should be. So you said what your goal, like, what are your goals then with dating? Because you said if you decide you want to take it to the next level, what is your goal? Do you want to get married and have kids?
I don't think I want kids, to be honest. I think that I've decided on that. I get in these weird moods where I'm like, okay, I want a kid, but then I think it would be really cool to like be like a really cool stepmom, like if someone had a kid.
That's
I
the way
don't know.
to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Marriage, I think it would still be nice to get married one day. I'm a fan of marriage.
Why?
Well, I mean, I think it's just, okay, I've had different conversations on this because I think it would be cool to kind of have like a ceremony, kind of like a wedding, but I do see the benefits in not being legally married because, I mean, some people just look at it as like a paper thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think having some type of a ceremony once you're at that step would be cool, but.
Are your parents still together?
Oh, no.
Okay. When did they get divorced?
2003.
Okay, so you were younger when it
Yeah.
happened. And you still want to get married, even despite all that. You saw what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I think all girls kind of have that dream of having that wedding and, the bachelorette party, and you're just those fuzzy feelings
Also,
that add up.
you can do people talk about the wedding and the party as the reason to get married. Like that, you can have a fake wedding and a fake bachelorette party and save yourself a lot of turmoil. And
Yeah. I think like a lot of times, like with my ex, I definitely thought that we were gonna be, well, at points I thought we were gonna get married, and he comes from a very Christian family. And so I could see the marriage on, like when I was at that point in my life, I really wanted marriage because I was more involved in church because of his family and whatnot. And now it's kind of like, okay, you can have those things without the paperwork and everything like that, because it would suck to have to pay all this money to kind of rescind all that paperwork if it didn't work out. But I'm kind of in the middle of it, to be honest.
Is religion important to you? Like in a relationship?
I would say I have faith. I would never cancel somebody out as an option of romance just based off of their faith.
But you were raised Christian then? Or what were you?
So when I was younger, I was raised Muslim, and when I turned 12, I started going to a Christian church.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a big change. Muslims don't lose a lot of people, so.
Yeah, and I know my Muslim side of the family actually would prefer that I get married. That's for sure.
Person, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Are you? If you're traveling for music, is your goal you're going to eventually start doing music, whether it's in LA or traveling, right? I mean, those are some of the options for music, or do you plan on staying in Tacoma?
No, I'm definitely getting out of Tacoma. Definitely getting, yeah, I want to get out of Washington. LA would be really nice. It is in my kind of plan for this year to end up in LA at the end of the year. I was supposed to move there end of last year, but family stuff came up. But yeah, I feel like my mind just keeps changing, to be honest, whether it's LA or Chicago.
Chicago too is on your list?
Yeah.
Why Chicago?
I think I naturally kind of am directed towards Chicago because I have my two best friends live there.
Right.
And so I think it's kind of a comfort thing, which is why I'm like, okay, maybe I should live outside of this comfort zone that I am kind of gravitating towards.
Yeah, the
So
music scene here is not that big, unfortunately. I mean, the for music, Nashville is probably a good option, or LA,
yeah,
New York.
I've heard really good things about Nashville.
Yeah, it's a good place to get a lot, make a lot of connections, and then move to LA. But that's a whole issue. So, okay, let's get down to this. Who is your ideal? What are you going to date? What's like your ideal situation? Because clearly, faith is part of it. You
Hmm.
don't necessarily want to have kids, but you want to get married. You don't have. What are you? I mean, you can't date other musicians. Do you think you can? I don't.
I haven't tried. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe different genres. Like you can date like a heavy metal dude or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about the screaming all the time.
But here's the thing: when you start having a busier schedule, when everything's done with this Corona thing, how are you going to date a guy who has like a 9 to 5 job? Like you're going to have to date people who understand that you've got a weird schedule. Your schedule's
Hmm.
going to change as you get more
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I feel like it's one of those things, if you can't do it, then you're not meant to be part of my life. So
What
it's just,
was the last guy supportive of, were you already starting your musical career when you were dating him? Obviously, the real estate dude.
yeah, no, he was extremely supportive.
Okay, good.
He pushed me a lot to do music. So
And what about your family? Are they supportive?
yeah, they are really supportive. I just think,
What's
I
that?
think my,
Nice.
I think my Egyptian side of the family, they're more supportive.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool because it's something foreign. You know, a lot of them are, they have like a civil engineering degree and this kind of standard
Or
there.
doctors, lawyers, and doctors, engineers, and IT guys.
Yeah, yeah, it's like where people just seem to go.
Have you dated other Egyptians or Arabs or
No,
Middle
I
East?
haven't.
Why are you so racist? No, I'm just
I have no comment.
okay. Yeah, no, I don't. I actually is the same. I don't. I haven't. I've dated a few Iranians, but very seldom.
Honestly, I feel like if I date somebody that's kind of from the the same area of the world I am, we would look a lot like brother and sister, and I don't want that.
Yeah, I have a joke about that already on stage where I'm like, I was staring at somebody and they thought I was like hitting on them. I'm like, you're Middle Eastern. Like, I'm not attracted. Like, it's like making out with my cousin again. Like, that's the joke. So, but no, I get it. So you want to get married? What are your types? What's the ideal guy you're going to meet? Let's start on the trip because you said you want a long distance relationship. Where is this person going to be? Ideally, if
Mm,
you're in LA or you're in Chicago, where is this guy in your ideal world?
Texas.
Texas,
Yeah.
Austin, Texas, or like Houston?
Maybe Austin,
Why
Dallas.
Texas?
I don't
That's
know.
so bizarre.
I don't know. I've been drawn to Texas. It could just be because I have no idea, actually.
No offense to people from Texas, but like that's not people that live in Texas. They like escape there. Otherwise, like they don't want to stay there unless like they're in a small town and they're not going to be traveling to the places you're going to travel to.
I know. See my dilemma?
Why
I don't know.
Texas? You got to give me more. Like, is it the music? Is it the southern hospitality? Like, what is it that draws you to a guy from Texas?
Well, at the risk of sounding shallow, literally, I have never met a guy from Texas that is not attractive.
Okay, so it's a physical thing that you've seen, and actually, that's something like the traditional. They say a tall, dark man from Texas is like the desired look that people look for.
Yeah,
Okay,
I would say tall, dark, and handsome. Ironically, though, I've never dated a tall guy. I've always dated somebody that's close to my height.
okay, and what's your height?
5'4".
Oh, that's short.
I know. Well, I think the tallest guy I dated was like 5'11".
Okay, that's about right. So he's from Texas. What does he look like? Blonde hair, brown hair.
I kind of honestly, no, I like guys with darker features, like dark hair, dark eye colored, brown. I don't know.
Okay. And what are the other like you must haves when you're dating a guy? Like what are the deal breakers? What are the things you're like, all right, I can't do that if you're
It depends on how he treats his family. I'm a huge believer if a guy is gonna treat his mom like crap, then like, why would you be with someone that
sure,
treats the person that gave them life that way? You know what I mean?
sure.
So family is a big thing for me.
And Texas
I think,
people value family, that's for sure.
yeah.
Family is definitely valued when they're not sleeping together. But yeah, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I think also ambitious. I feel like I always get into these moods where like I'm a very ambitious person, and I feel like I wouldn't want to just be so excited about a new project or a new goal or anything, and then it's kind of like you're talking to a negative Nancy if they're just like, oh yeah, that's great. Like I want somebody that has that same drive.
Right. Okay. Ambitious, taller, from Texas, family.
He doesn't have to be from Texas. I was just saying,
Okay.
guys from Texas are hot.
Okay. What are the things? What if they have shitty music tastes? Is that going to be okay with you?
We can fix that.
Okay. No deal
Hopefully.
breakers on music?
No, I hated my ex's taste in music, to be honest.
What did he like? What was his favorite music that you hated?
Like he liked a lot of like EDM stuff, and I mean, I
Oh,
don't have a thing against EDM music. It's great, but I don't want to be feeling like I'm going to a rave like at every point of my day.
yeah. If just especially if you're not doing any drugs, like it's how do you listen to EDM?
Yeah, what is the fun in that?
If you're driving sober listening to EDM, like something's wrong with you.
Which is funny because he has never done a drug in his life. I don't even think he's
Listen to
ever smoked
EDM?
weed. Yeah.
Whoa, deal breaker. That's so weird. I don't believe that. Okay, so music, you can't like EDM or listen
No,
to
he can
EDM,
like EDM.
but not 24 hours a day.
Yeah. I mean, like something else too. Like, I love oldies music. So if the person doesn't like oldies, then it's probably.
What's oldies for you? Like 80s music?
No, my favorite band is Frankie Valli and the Four
Oh,
Seasons.
50. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
oldies.
That's a little weird. I think yeah, what you're gonna have to date someone a lot older than you. Or like
I know. I've been told by many people that I should, because I feel like guys my age kind of are just really still immature.
yeah.
And I've been told by many people, like, you should start looking at talking to guys that are kind of late 30s.
Yeah, maybe a little older than that too. What what are your age brackets on the dating apps when you were on there?
Oh my gosh. I think I think that I put the oldest at 32.
Yeah, that's too young.
I know.
You're not gonna find any 32-year-old from Texas that knows who Frankie Valli is. It's
I
just not
know.
gonna happen. And if he does, I don't think he's gonna be straight in the long run. So
A girl can dream.
yeah. Okay. So no other deal breakers, like nothing like I don't know, what are the sums that people have? I don't know. Car types, they don't care what kind of car they drive.
No, I don't care what kind of car they drive.
Political issues. What if
It'd
they're
be nice if they had a car.
okay? Car,
That would,
car
that would,
optional.
I was talking to this guy that I went on I would say maybe it was a date, but
Okay.
yeah, he was like, "Oh, can you pick me up?" And I found out he didn't have a car, so
You have to pick him up on a date. Yeah, that's
yeah,
see, that's the thing. Like if you go on those apps, you can get a lot of that shit taken care of before you even meet the person. So
yeah,
that's why I like the apps now, because it's like the deal breakers. You can see if they're like into EDM and where they're from. Those are things.
yeah,
You can see their height. You know, if they got pictures with their family. You know, those are things that you can automatically decide, and you know what they look like if they have pictures of themselves. So
yeah.
and you can see if they have a car because they'll take a picture of themselves shirtless in their Jeep.
Oh my god.
There you go.
I definitely don't care what car. I'm not really a materialistic person. And I don't want to say like I don't care if a guy has money or not, to be honest, because I feel like if a guy I feel like I'm trying to tread lightly with what I'm gonna say.
No, say what you want. Hey, you might get some DMs out of this. So you might as well.
Oh, maybe. No, but I think that it's really important for a guy to have like a really good stable job, because not because I want them to have money or I want them to buy me things. I don't expect that at all, but it says more about their character than like
Sure.
like the guy that I that I went on a date with that didn't have a car also didn't have a job, and it just was very his
Let's go
just,
hand in hand. Yeah.
yeah. Which he probably doesn't have a job because he doesn't have a car.
Okay, yeah. So they have to have a job and a car. I think those are pretty basic requirements. I think you're okay.
Yeah. I feel like a good job though. Like they have to like I don't like
What's a good job?
like something that they enjoy. Like I don't want to be with somebody that hates going to work. I feel like that's one of the worst like poisons ever, is if you wake up and you hate where you stay for most of your day, and then you come home and you're just not in a happy mood.
Well, what if they're doing that because their real ambition is to do something else?
Then that's okay. Then
As
that's
long as
okay.
they have a car.
Yes.
So like on this show, I've always told comedians that we've interviewed over 100 comedians, and I've always told them they shouldn't date other comedians, but they got to date something that's adjacent in terms of the creatives. And we've had musicians on who are now married, some of them to comedians, whatever. But like I think musicians and comedians should be getting together. Now, for you, it might be hard because a lot of comedians don't have jobs, don't have ambition, and don't have cars.
Well, I think, okay.
But they're going to make you laugh.
And that's important too. You know what? I'm not going to knock it till I try it. If I met a musician, or not a musician, a comedian, and he made me laugh and he was great, then I would never say, oh, well, you don't check this, this, and this. So
yeah,
sorry.
I can think of 10 comedians who are single. I don't know if they know Frankie Valli. I know they have a job and a car, and they're really funny. And I think they treat their family okay. I don't know about the Texas part, but these are all things that can easily be satiated. So I think you should date comedians. I think if you go on like 10 dates with 10 comedians, like one of them's going to work out.
Yeah. Well, then send them my way, Paul.
I will. I think unfortunately I'm out of your age demographic, so I can't take it. But I know a few. I think I'll text you the ones I think. I think I know one that you've already met that I thought you guys were a good match. I'm not going to say his name, but I don't know what happened there.
I think I know. I think I know who you're talking about.
What happened there?
Nothing. I came home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we hung out with you guys one night, and then I think I really liked one of your friends, but she didn't like me.
It's okay. She doesn't like anybody.
That makes me feel better. So not married, or you don't have to get married, but you kind of want to have the party.
It's not the party. I think it's just kind of like, okay, we decided, oh, it would be cool to spend my life with you. Well, it would be cool to spend my life with you. Let's celebrate. Like that kind of a thing.
So here's what I suggest. I think if you have a show, you can have like a huge show with your debut album, and this your future date, who you guys will have he'll be in Texas, he'll be a comedian, and he'll be the MC for your show. And then you guys that'll be like your special party, and you don't have to get married. It'll just be like Zaina's debut album featuring, Mike from Texas or whoever.
The most Texas name.
Yeah.
We should, let's eliminate the Texas thing. I don't want to just narrow it down to one state.
Okay. That helps a lot. But I think we're going to have you back on the show. I want you to, within the next, there's going to be guys who are going to DM you that are comedians. I urge them to be respectful. It's going to be like a dating show. This is going to be a new thing we're doing on the podcast.
Are you trying to set me up?
No, I don't know who's going to hit you up, but I'm sure you will get hit up. You're very attractive, very talented, and you're going to get hit up by dudes. They know what you need. You have to go on 10 dates with them. You don't have to.
10.
Yeah, 10 different comedians. It's like the dating show. But, I mean, you don't have to put out on all of them. You just, like, hang out with them. Some will be like, they'll be like these, what do you call them? The Zoom dates. You can go on a Zoom date with these dudes. And then
I would do a Zoom date.
there you go. And then you'll report back, and then we'll have answers as to what you've learned about dating comedians. Because we only hear the comedian side. We don't hear the girls or guys who go out with comedians and they're like, you know, these guys are.
Yeah. I will give you my honest opinion.
Okay. So you heard it here. There's a first on the podcast. We're going to have you set up with multiple comedians. I don't know who yet, but we will. You're going to have to go on those apps and seek out the ones that have pictures of themselves with the microphone in their hands.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of work.
I don't know how many single comedians are in Seattle or Tacoma.
I don't know how many, man, honestly, the dating market in this area is really crappy because guys are so full of themselves here.
Well, you need a little attitude and ego because that shows signs of ambition.
I'm talking about straight up flexing in the mirror at LA Fitness type.
Yeah, those pictures you swipe left. But the other ones, if they're comedians, they're not going to do that. No comedian, maybe one comedian I know would do that. But most comedians won't do that. They're going to be self-deprecating, super funny. I actually know 3 comedians. One lives in Tacoma, but he's from Texas. But I don't know if he's single right now. And I think he's older than 32, so that won't work.
Well, I'll change my age.
All right. Well, Zaina, where can people find out more about you other than, other than on these dating apps and on Instagram? Well, I guess we need to know where the Instagram is where they can start hitting you up.
Yeah. So my Instagram name is just Zaina Badawy, which is, I don't know, should I spell it? Because.
Oh, it'll be listed, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best way to find anything out about me, to be honest. I don't really add people on my Facebook if I don't actually know them. So
Instagram, they can DM away, no dick pics. So
please don't. I've had actually a few DMs of that, and it's just horrid.
That automatically will disqualify you from the 10 dates that we're gonna sanction on here. And if you end up meeting them in person in Chicago, here's what Singles Only will do with our sponsor money. We will pay for the date up to $24.
Oh, yay.
That's like 2 drinks and an appetizer during happy hour.
Yeah, I agree. And that's enough time to get to know whether or not you want to continue the date.
There you go. Well, next time you're in Chicago. Well, thank you so much, Zaina, for being on Singles Only podcast. I really appreciate it, and I hope to hear some good news on this whole theory I have on dating comedians and musicians and comedians getting together and being happy for the rest of their lives.
No paperwork, just a ceremony.
just the party for the CD release and the open. I got it all figured out.
Okay, perfect.
All right, thanks, Zaina, and thank everyone for listening to another edition of Singles Only. If you're listening to this, go watch it on Zoom so you can see what we look like, or not on Zoom, on YouTube, it'll be on the YouTube channel. Or if you're watching on YouTube channel, go like us on iTunes and give us a 5-star review.
Thank you so much.